Hello everyone, I'm RiverFox and welcome to the channel. And today we are carrying on with our Canny Valley Storm Shield Defenses videos. Now don't forget there will be a link in the description down below of the Canny Valley playlist, which is going to cover all of the Storm Shield defenses and also the endurance video as well. Now these builds are primarily for your Storm Shield defenses. They will work to a certain degree in the endurance, but I will be making changes to those before I do the endurance, and I will also cover separate videos on those. So this time around we are going to be working on, in my case, amplifier A. Now this is the amplifier which is directly to the north. So if you have placed your amplifiers in a slightly different order, then it may have a different letter to it, but in my case it is amplifier A. And also, if you have placed any of the amplifiers which I haven't placed, then you will unfortunately probably not be able to use these defenses, because if you've placed either of those other two amplifiers, then it will completely change where your spawns come from. But for this one, for the amplifier A, in my case, they will have two different directions they will spawn from. They will either spawn from the north or they will spawn from the east. Now I'm going to go through the north first of all, and it is quite a big, extensive build. There is quite a lot to this, so I'm going to try and cover as much of it as I can. Hopefully I won't miss anything, but we'll try and cover as much as possible. Now with the spawn from the north, there will be a few places they will spawn from. They will spawn around this spot over here along this top, and they can also spawn all the way down there, down at that spot down there. So we're going to cover this bit up here first, and then we'll make our way down to the bottom. Now this here is literally just a lobber shield. We don't have any traps on it or anything to do any damage. It's just to prevent those annoying lobbers from standing at this point and aiming directly over there. Now you will find, especially from these ones down here, that they will still try lobbing that direction, but the ones from up the top here, generally this shield here stops them from standing and lobbing directly at it. But as we move down, we do have a few anti-air traps as well, which I'll get to as we go down. They will help to prevent any lobbers that do stand up here and fling. So the first thing first then is the lobber shield, and generally I found that just taking it to the edge of this building is more than enough, and just make sure you do go over to the end here as well. They don't tend to stand at this point on here, but I mean there's nothing preventing you from just adding an extra row in along there, but I didn't find that was really necessary. So yeah, take it all the way to the house, and then all the way to the end of this sort of mountain peak, really, and really just as far again as the end of this house, and take it all the way over here. Now I have put in some block off along here just to make sure that any that do come this way hopefully will drop down at this point and land down in our box, which we'll get to shortly. So if we just pop up on the top here, so all this is just some edited cones which will be pointing to your northeast, and there is two of those here just surrounded by walls, and then another two directly behind that, again surrounded by walls. Now you don't need to put walls on these two sides, because if they happen to come over this way, then they will come down here to this point, and they will fall down to this point here. So we have blocked this little bit off, and we've got a wall launcher in here which is going to fling them over that direction. Now, if they don't actually get flung all the way down, if they land over here, then they will probably try and walk back again. So this again is just an identical of that up there with another wall launcher, and this will most definitely launch them into there, and then they will fall straight down there. So that is from that point. So if we just get back up here, okay. Now, what we're going to do now, we get all the way over here. Now, any else that do spawn up here, majority of them are going to fall down these natural ridges down here into this spot, and they will fall down here and normally head towards this direction. So we do have some tire traps here with some broadsides, which are going to be flinging back and forth and kill majority of. And of course we have our ceiling zappers up above. Just to the left here we have a sound wall, and this one will slow them down, make them stay you know, a little bit longer, just so that the tar pits then will freeze them in spot, and chances are they get taken out by the electric field anyway. If they do make it far enough over here, we do have a wall launcher which is going to fling them straight down there, and we'll get into those traps in a moment. Now, there is the occasional one which are going to drop down from this point over here. So we have got another set here with tire traps, the sound wall, and the wall launcher, because the lobbers especially tend to like congregating on this little ridge here. So that is why we have set this, and again that is going to fling them straight down there. We do have a air trap on the top there, just to catch the lobbers that tend to fling at these spots. So that is from this. Now if we just get around here and get down the bottom, now they will be spawning from this spot around here, be anywhere around this area. So they are going to make their way up this little sort of stream along here. So we do have some broadsides which are going to fling back and forth, and they will take out majority of them there. And we do have two ceiling drop traps just over the top of this sort of ramp, so that any tires that go down are going to fall all the way down there and take a lot of them out before they even get up. If they do make it pass through this, then we got some more broadsides, and we have a few over this side. We have two here, because the lobbers and flingers do tend to like standing right at the corner here and heading, you know, aiming up towards these. So that is why I put a couple of broadsides in there. Now from this point, they will either come along this area and they will go up towards the amplifier from here, or they are going to go along here and up a little ramp over there. So we're going to go through this side first of all. So they will come up along this point and they will make their way around here. As soon as they get to the bottom step here, then they're going to get hit by a launcher, which is going to fling them all the way back out down there. And if they get up far enough, then we do have a broadside in here, which is going to bounce back and forth in this square and do some phenomenal damage. And we've got a ceiling electric field up above. If they do make it past that point, I've got nothing on that wall over there, but we do have a sound wall there, which is going to slow them down a bit, and a ceiling drop trap on the top. Now this one then is going to go all the way down here, so it will take out anything else that's starting to come up the ramp as well. If they do actually make it to this square here, very occasionally the lobbers may try to go over this way to find a route to be able to lob. So that's why we've got another broadside and a wall launcher in there. But we have another wall launcher at the top here, which is going to fling them straight back down to the bottom. And so, of course, some more electric fields up above. Next one along, then we have a tire pit again, and we have a sound wall and a ceiling electric field. No tile in that one because there's not really any need for it in there. If they get to the corner, then wall launcher is going to fling them back out down here, and also broadside is going to do damage as well, and the electric field up above. And then it's pretty much a straight run through here. So we have a sound wall and broadsides, and then we've got double broadsides, and then if they get to this spot, we have another wall launcher which is going to fling them straight back out down there, where they have to go and start again. And not very much really, to be honest, gets past the corner, to be honest. But if you do get the occasional one that even makes it up this far, then at least you know they're going to get flung straight back out. If they do make it in this far, then we have a broadside which is going to do some damage, but we've also got floor launcher which is going to fling them into this pit. And this pit in here is filled with 2 wall lights and 2 broadsides, so they're not really going to make it out of that box. And that is up to the amplifier. So if we go back over to this direction down here, so let's see, if they come through this way, then we do have a lot of broadsides along this point, which is going to take majority out. And if they get this far, some more broadsides, some more broadsides. Now you can't put a floor on this spot, otherwise they will not be able to get up into the actual ramp up there. They will just smash at it and destroy it, so there's no point putting a floor one on there. 2 ceilings, electric fields up above, and another wall launcher here, and tar pit, and also a sound wall as well. And yeah, not very much makes it that far on the waves. But when you do get the smashers in some of the later waves, then the smashers most definitely will get up through this point. So we do have more up here, especially for the smashers. We do have a ceiling gas trap then up on the top, because they will get stuck in the tar pit down the bottom, and yeah, they'll get taken out that way. If it's any other husks apart from smashers, then a wall launcher will fling them back down, and they repeat and start again. And of course a broadside on there. Now if they do make it into this section, then we do have broadside on both ends, which is going to be bouncing back and forth. But we've also got our floor launcher here, which is going to fling them up there and into our box in here. Now this is just a long three tiles long box with literally broadsides all the way in it, and wall lights on this side just to stun them, and of course we have our tar pits then on the bottom to hold them all in place. And yeah, not very much will make it out of there. If they happen to come past this, another 2 floor launchers here, then again fling them into those boxes, and some broadsides on that side. Now as we come around here, now this links into our bit up here where they may fall in from that spot as well. So if they do fall down here, then there's another wall launcher to fling them into this box, which has got 2 broadsides and a sound wall. And this is a ceiling electric field in top as well, just to give that added damage. And just on top of this is where you would place your base if you use it. Now further in that we come again, we do have another wall launcher to fling them back out, normally to this point over here, which means they get flung straight back into there anyway, unless it is a smasher. But generally you don't get that many that actually make it through. And yep, another square here with a broadside, nothing on that side, and tar pit and electric field. So if they get up this point, now they can, with the smashers, if they do get through, they will tend to try and smash through this point here. So we do have another ceiling gas trap underneath this one, so so that it will, you know, take out hopefully majority of the smashers before they actually break through that structure. If there's any smaller husks, then they will come along this point where they've got some more launchers, another 2 of those, which is going to fling them straight back out there. You might get one if it doesn't quite send them off the edge, it might land at that point. But generally, if they do and they get flung over here, then they're going to head over to this point. So we have a floor launcher, which is then going to fling them into this box, which meets up with this tunnel over here. Now this is the smasher bridge, which I've set up for any of the smashers that come through, but I got to be honest, I didn't get any that really made it out enough to actually be usable. If you haven't quite got the full gold roll perks on your traps, then I would still recommend having the smasher bridge, because any smashers that do make it out, they will head out round here, they will come up this ramp, and they would just get recycled off the edge here and keep going back up. So it is still useful to have, but because I was using the 130 traps with full gold roll on them, then it didn't even get used, to be honest. So that is our north direction. So the next one is going to be our east. So I'm going to get over to the spawn point over there, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so this is from the east. Now there are a few different spots that they will spawn for this one. Now you can get the occasional rare spawn point up on the top here, which is right on the edge of this spot here. Generally, if they do, then they tend to sort of fall down this direction and, you know, head over there. So if they do fall into that box down here, I have left a bit open, which I will get into in a minute, but I've put a broadside in there just to give any damage on it there, and that really tends to take them out. Now, majority are going to spawn either in this spot over here or just underneath down the bottom here. Now, you can, which it doesn't seem to very much in the SSDs, but especially in Endurance, you can get occasional spawn point up the top here as well, along this spot. So it is a good idea to have some form of block off along this bit, just to block them getting going through there, but also leaving a little empty section along this edge, so if they do spawn up here, they just fall straight down. You can get some spawn points in here as well along this spot down here, but they tend to either go straight down this way, or they will come along here, drop down here, and then drop down this point as well. So the other main point that they spawn is this section under here. They can spawn anywhere along under here. So what we have done, let me just get back up there. Okay, so what I have done, because of the spawn point up this bit, I have put a little bit of a blockade in here just to prevent them from wanting to go up and standing at the top and lob up there. So we just literally, we have some electric fields here, we have a wall launcher then to fling any back out if they break through this one, and we have another ceiling electric field there, and they've just got some cones on top just for added strength. So that's pretty much all that's up there. So any that spawn at this point or up there, then they're all going to head down to this spot down here. So let's get these out of the way. Okay, so they will fall down to this spot, and we do have our lobber shield here with our ceiling drop traps on it, which is, what is it, 1, 2, it's only 4 wide at the end here to make sure we have this full open space that anything can drop down and not fall on top of the shield, otherwise they'll just walk all the way over to the amplifier and get in. And the same thing will apply for this bit over here. Make sure that you do leave these 2 tiles out as well, so if they do come this point, they would just fall in from here. So this this shield is going to go all the way over to the end here. Now behind this is empty, because you do have a square here and a walls here that you just cannot build on at all. So we kind of blocked all that off, so they couldn't get into it. And if they do come over this point, then of course we got lots of broadsides set along here to take out majority before they even get up to our actual trap tunnels. But they will come along. We have a floor launcher, which is going to fling them into this pit, which has got broadside on both sides, that side, and this wall here has just got some wall lights on it as well, just to stun them, and an electric field up above. We got some broadside on this bit as well to catch anything going along this point. As they come in to the trap tunnel, we do have another wall launcher here, which is going to fling them back out and hopefully get hit by the launcher and straight into our little box. And another broadside here, which is going to be bouncing all the way along to the end. If they get past this point, and we do have 3 sort of timeout boxes here with floor launchers to fling them into the separate boxes. And yeah, in our boxes, they are pretty much just the same, broadsides on the 2 sides and wall lights on the front. Nothing on the back side, you don't need that. And just a tar pit then on the bottom, just to hold them in place while they take all the damage, and a ceiling electric field up above as well. So yeah, the edited walls on this point. Now, the reason they are edited this way instead of this way, if you do have it edited that way, then they'll be walking along this side, and quite often, you watch, I won't be able to do it now, quite often they will actually end up standing on the edge of your box, and then generally they would just fall back down. So the reason that I put the edited wall on that side means they were coming over here to the left, which means they will get flung literally all the way over to the back, and they're gonna make sure they go into the box. And we do have some more broadsides. Now we've got the windows open on the front here, because anything that actually survives from the 2 broadsides and the electric field will actually take more damage as well from this broadside, because the occasional broadside ball will actually go through this window as well. So that is those 3 tiles there. Now this is the natural ridge, but because of course it's all blocked off by our timeout boxes, so we have put in an extra ramp on this side, which has just got a basic wall behind it, just for a little extra strength. If they do come up this point, then we've got another floor launcher, which will fling them into this box, which is identical to the rest of them. And another wall launcher then, which will fling them all the way back, normally around about that point down there. And chances are they get sent into one of those boxes. Smashers, however, they can make it up this far occasionally. But if they do get to this point, then we have one more floor launcher here, which is going to fling them into this big pit, which has got our broadsides on both sides and 2 tar pits on the floor. And we also have a sound wall over there as well, just to slow them down, and they normally will die off from the broadside. So again, the smashers didn't really make it in through here. Now there is one other direction that they can come from when or go through, should I say, when they are attacking our main amp A, and they can come through this direction as well. So of course we do have lots of broadsides along here, which are always going to be bouncing back and forth and kill majority anyway. If they make it this point, we have another broadside on there, and of course we've got some ceiling electric fields up above as well. And if they make it in here, then we have a tar pit, a wall launcher, which is going to fling them into this pit, hopefully, I don't think I've had anything go past the actual pit, but if they do, they're just going to get flung straight back in. And another set here, which is going to send them into this direction, which I'll go into that bit in a moment. And come up this far, we got some more tar pits to slow them down, and another launcher which will fling them into that section as well. And if they get this far, then we have broadside, another wall launcher to fling them all the way back out down there, and around here another one which will fling them out again. If they do make it far enough, then they will literally just fall down into this pit, which has got 3 broadsides and a wall light and a ceiling electric field on the top, and not much is going to survive that box. So that is the end of that section. So from this point here, if they do get flung in to this way, they will get some more wall launchers, which is going to fling them over this side, and they're going to take a lot of damage from all of these broadsides and these ceiling electric fields. And they will try and head around this way, so we've got a sound wall and some more launchers then to fling them into another broadside pit, which again, very little actually makes it through. And as we carry on going round, it more launchers fling them back out again, some more sound walls, and if they get this far, then another wall launcher to fling them into that pit, a box, I keep calling it a pit, into that box, which will kill them off completely. And that is pretty much it. That is to our amplifier. So the defenses for this are pretty extensive, but it has done through 7, 8, 9 and 10 with complete AFK. So it does seem like a lot of builds, and I know in earlier videos that I did, especially with the Canny Valley defenses, and in fact in some of my earlier designs of the Endurance, I actually had all of this section in here. All of this was all blocked off completely. The only reason I opened it up is to minimize, especially for Endurance, the amount that went up that way, and spread them out so that they would take, you know, a longer route round and get rid of them. As I say, it will work to a certain degree in your Endurance. I have AFK'd probably to about wave 17 with these builds, but I'm working on much better defenses. I'm almost there. I've just got a few niggly bits that I need to sort out before I fetch that video out. But yeah, it will certainly do you to a certain degree in your Endurance, but there are better builds there. Now, the directions over here, these are mainly for your other amplifier, your amplifier B, as my case, this one just over there. So I'm not going to go through those in this video, but you will get some spawn points for B, which will spawn over here. So in some of the waves, some of this section along here may get taken out by your spawn point, but it's generally after the amplifier A has been attacked anyway, so majority of it is still perfectly fine. So that is your defenses for amplifier A. So I hope you do find this video useful. If you do, don't forget to drop a like down below and smash our subscribe before you go. And if you turn on the notification bell, then you will always get updated of all my content when it comes out. If you do buy anything from the Fortnite store, please consider using code RiverFox, as it will help me out a great deal. And if you get the time, do check out my Twitter account. A link will be in the description down below, along with a link for the Canny Valley playlist, which will cover all of my builds. So until the next time, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, my friends.